Okay, prep career students, now you are ready to start a new job exam. So first we're going to review a PowerPoint over the topic that we reviewed last year or last week, talking about starting a new job. We're going to review the 5 steps to be successful. Why is it important to start a new job on the right track? To be successful, you need to make a good impression. In the first few weeks, you will need to show them what type of worker you are. You want to show them that you are professional, dedicated, positive, dependable, follow directions well, have a strong work ethic. That those are all characteristics of a great employee. And so when you get in a new job, you want to start off right away showing your coworkers and your boss you can, do the job, and you have all these characteristics and what it takes to be a good employee. Also, the first few weeks give you an opportunity to develop those good work habits. So, obviously, when you step into a new job, um, you're not going to know everything, but showing that you ask questions, that you're positive, you're happy about what you're doing, um, that is a good way to start a new job. The first step. So, what is the first step a new employee should take to ensure success? The first step, oops, is to read the employee handbook. So you want to learn the rules and expectations of the company. So inside of employee handbook, they're quite lengthy because they go through all the rules and step by step. So an employee handbook is a book given to employees by an employer. The employee handbook contains information about the company's policies and procedures. So all of these might be like, um, what are your hours? What do you do when you're sick? How do you call in? What do you do when you want to request time off? Do you need to wear a uniform? How do you clock in? Um, what to do about if you want insurance, like health insurance or dental insurance or benefits. It will talk about all of those things. It will talk about reasons that you can get fired, perhaps, or also um, discrimination policies and how they're supposed to be fair and those types of things. So that employee handbook is very good. It outlines everything you need to know, mostly about your job, the rules and guidelines. So if you need assistance to understand that, you should reach out to your go-to person or your boss and find out and clarify things you don't understand. Okay, what is the second step a new employee should take to ensure success? You want to be prepared to arrive early and be dressed appropriately. Get plenty of rest. Prepare your clothes, and that means if you need to iron them, you need to do that and follow your dress code. Just like the school has a dress code, your work is going to have a dress code or perhaps even a uniform. Prepare your lunch or snack in the evening. So do all that the night before, and that will help save you time. Be well groomed. You need to smell good, look good. Nobody wants to work around somebody that has some body odor lingering. It's not pleasant to be around people who don't take good care of themselves. Um, Sometimes if it's something somebody can't help, but most often we can, make sure we're bathed every day and that we have clean clothes on and that we didn't just roll out of bed, right? Expect to arrive 10 minutes early to work. You might have to work and be to work at 8:30. That's your start time. Well, if you get right to your job at 8:30, you're going to have to start your job. So you might already be behind and be late in a sense. So you always want to show up 10 minutes early. So if your start time is 8:30, you want to get there at 8:20 so you're plenty prepared and ready to start your job. Test your route to work before you start. This is huge. You want to make sure you have enough time. You've given yourself enough time to get to work. So if it takes you 20 minutes to get to work, you might want to give yourself an extra 15 minutes. So instead of leaving 20 minutes before you want to arrive, you leave at 35 minutes before you want to arrive. That way, you just have some leeway to make sure you can account for getting every red light or something. And plus you need to manage your time, and by knowing how long things take, that's the only way you can manage your time. If you don't know how long it takes you to get to work, you're not going to know what time you need to leave your house. So make sure you're checking that out. Remember that arriving early sends a strong message that you are eager to work and you are responsible. What is the third step a new employee should take to ensure success? Well, this is important. Smile and act in a professional manner. When you meet people, make sure to smile. Smiles are powerful. They go a long way in building positive relationships at work. They show you are excited to be at work. Make sure you professionally introduce yourself and greet your coworkers. Learn names and refer to your bosses by their last name unless they've told you not to do so. So, this doesn't mean go around and, make sure you're smiling every second of the day. It just means like, you know, um, try to look approachable. Smiles make people feel good and make people feel like they can approach you. But if you walk around work like this, nobody may want to talk to you or work with you because it might be uncomfortable. Um, it's just nice to have, it's just nice to work around people that are happy and smile. What is the fourth step to a new employee, um, to make sure they are successful? Listen and ask questions. This is important. This is a part where you have to advocate for yourself. You need to actively listen to directions. If you don't understand something, ask them to please explain. To help to help remember and to understand, it may be helpful to repeat the directions back to that person. Say, so, okay, so that your boss asks you to, let's say you're working at Subway. He wants you to fill the onions. He wants you to then fill the pickles, and he wants you to cut tomatoes, and then he wants you to make sure you put some bread in the oven. So make sure that you ask him. You say, okay, well, he told me to do all these things, but does it matter which order I do them in? So then you need to say, so you told me to fill the onions, fill the pickles, cut the tomatoes, and make the bread. Now, could I make the bread first, or do I need to do it after these things? He might say, or she might say, you need to do it in a certain order. So if you don't understand something, you need to make sure that you ask. And if you need to, take notes. If you, it doesn't hurt. I have post-its everywhere. I write stuff down all the time on these little guys to help me remember to do things or whatnot. So notes are always good. Um, and if you do a job thinking, oh, I'm not sure how to do this job, but I'm just going to do it anyways. Like, let's say you had the job of filling the onions, then the pickles, cutting the tomatoes, and then doing the bread. Let's say you did the bread first and then you did the other things, but the other things took you so long that you burnt the bread. Maybe there's a reason for them to ask you the way, ask you to, the order of doing the task. Maybe there's a reason why they asked you to do it a certain way. So you may not understand all the reasons why you're doing the tasks a certain way you are. Okay. So you have to make sure that you're following directions and asking questions if you don't understand. Now, when you're done with your assigned tasks, you got all the onions filled, you got all the pickles filled, you cut the tomatoes, your bread is baked and out of the oven. You're all done. What are you going to do? So, at that point when you have all your assigned tasks done, ask what you can do next. So you ask your boss, "Hey boss, what else can I do next?" And obviously, they may have something for you to do, and they may not have something for you to do, but you always need to initiate for more work, asking for more work rather than sitting down. Um, I once upon a time worked at Noble Romans, and I remember when I was done with everything that I needed to do, I was in charge of the salad bar. So I would cut up the salad bar and, put all the things, the lettuce, and then I'd put like the tomatoes and cut all that and put it in the container and all that stuff, wipe it down, keep it clean, refill it. So like if I had everything done, I remember I'd always ask um my boss, he'd always tell us, he'd always say, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. So that meant like instead of just sitting there leaning on the counter with nothing to do, twiddling our thumbs, he'd say, you got to clean so that we could go clean the bathrooms, go clean the dining room, all of that. So if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. So I remember that from one of my very first jobs. So if you're done with a task, make sure you ask what to do next. And, always asking those questions, it helps people feel engaged, like you're paying attention, you're interested in learning, and all of that thing. And don't be afraid to do a job that's not very fun. We have parts of our jobs that aren't very fun. Like when I was telling you, I had to sometimes clean the bathrooms. That's not always a fun job to clean a public bathroom, but it also teaches you other life skills, and it also teaches you some discipline in your life, and that you have to realize not all every aspect of your job is going to be sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be job pieces of your job that is hard or it's unpleasant, and that's just the way every job pretty much is. There's some unpleasant things about every job. I would think that would be a true statement. Okay. What is the fifth step a new employee should take to ensure success? Well, this is important. Maintain a positive attitude and maintain a positive and enthusiastic attitude. This kind of goes back to like the smiling slide that we talked about. Um, just being around somebody that's positive is encouraging. When you are around people that are positive, you tend to be positive. Like you kind of their attitudes can be contagious. So if you're positive, it can be contagious, and if they're negative, it can be contagious. So what type of person do you want to be around? Just think about that. Don't complain. Show people you are eager and excited to learn and work. When leaving work, make sure to thank those that assisted you and the boss. A positive attitude relays a powerful impression to your boss and coworkers. It shows you care about your job and desire to be successful there. So I think that it's a huge difference. I have in my past have had a huge difference in my attitude when I work with somebody that's positive and upbeat and is eager to work versus somebody that's negative, always complaining, doesn't want to be at their job. Um, it's just your attitude's contagious, and I'd prefer to be around people that are a little bit more positive and happy versus somebody that's complaining and negative all the time. Um, and again, not everybody's going to be happy and positive every second of every day, but if you're happy and positive 90% of the time, that's better than being negative 90% of the time. Okay, some mistakes that new hires make. These are serious mistakes that you want to avoid using your cell phone at work. If you're in the middle of working with a customer and you pick up your cell phone to talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend, that's a big no no. Being late or missing work. Occasionally, from time to time, we all have mistakes where we oversleep or whatever, and we are late to work. But if this is happening day in and day out, or you're missing work day in and day out, or frequently, that's that I would question maybe your work ethic. If there's not a serious concern behind those reasons you're late or missing work, whether it's a health concern or family emergency, I would question if you're interested in even working. If I was a boss and I had somebody that showed up late or missed a lot of work, I'd be like, well, that person doesn't really want to be here. Should they find someplace else to work? So that's a thought. Being over talkative. So talk, 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 interrupting other people while they're working to talk. Um, that is a problem. If you're talking too much, then that means you're doing your work probably little. So not as much. So you want to make sure you're not over talkative, and finding an appropriate time to talk with your coworkers and an appropriate amount of talking. I know it's kind of a silly thing to think about, but it's true. Being arrogant. Nobody wants to work with somebody that thinks they know everything and they've done everything the best and they know how to do it, because you know what? The truth is, people make mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect. So being arrogant and being like, I know how to do this and I'm better than everyone else, it's just not a good work skill to have. It's just not a good interpersonal skill to work with others. You want to be a team member. You don't want to be the person that uh, doesn't need a team because they know how to do everything and they can do everything by themselves, right? So you have to be a team player instead of a team of one person yourself. Complaining, we talked about that. Complaining's no fun. Oh, did you hear about Johnny? He put the pickles in the olives container, and now I have to go and take all the pickles out of the olive container, and he's just making me work harder, and it's just so frustrating, and it's just did you hear that customer? She was talking about how the tomatoes didn't look good, and I cut those tomatoes myself. Like, I think they look fine. I mean, that's just don't do it. Don't complain. I'm just giving you examples and role playing, by the way. These are not true stories. Not acting professional. Oh, this will be let's say you and one of your coworkers are making sandwiches for a customer, and your coworker says, "Hey, I've got a new boyfriend now, and his name is Johnny, and Johnny, he is so cool. I like him so much. And did you want pickles on your sandwich? Onions, tomatoes? Okay." And we went out to dinner on Friday, and he was chewing so loudly, but I really like him. That'll be $15. Yeah, don't do that. Like, if you're talking about, like, your coworkers talking about their personal life while they're trying to, like, engage with a customer, that's not okay. So, um, there's a lot of things that you wanna make sure you're not sharing with a lot of people at your job. It's okay to keep some of your personal life personal, that's why it's called personal life. You don't have to share everything. That's kinda like the being over talkative and oversharing. But just other things that aren't professional, like your boss tells you to do something and you roll your eyes, that's not professional. Um, your boss tells you to do something and you don't really agree with it, or you don't like the order that he told you to do it in, and you protest or something. Sometimes you just have to suck it up and do your job, and try to do it with a smile on your face. Trust me, that's just the name of the game. But be professional, like showing up on time, communication, doing all of that stuff, doing what you're asked to do. Okay. Keep in mind, you are not expected to learn everything in the first few days. Try your best, don't give up. Professionalism and effort counts. So you definitely want to just make sure that um, just that you're trying your best. And I know that you guys all try your best and try to stay professional and some of the other suggestions that were given in these slides, and I think you'll be okay. You have to learn the rules of the game, then you have to play better than anyone else, Albert Einstein. Well, you have to play by the rules, but you also don't want to be arrogant either and tell everybody you know all the rules already and you're the best. Although you may be the best. But there's a way to be humble, right? All right, so I wanted to, oopsie, I didn't want to click off of that. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now that we've reviewed, I then now want to take you to the test, okay? So all this test is here. However, I embedded it all within a quiz on Canvas. So take a deep breath. And let's get ready to take our quiz. You ready? Okay. Question 1. Getting a good start to your job will help you blank. Make a good first impression. Establish good work behaviors. Achieve success, or all of the above. Question 2. What do most employers give new employees when they are hired? A gift certificate, shoes, shirt, and a tie, an employee handbook, or all of the above? Question 3. An employee handbook contains information on work blank. Rules, procedures, expectations for employees, or all of the above? Question 4. It is recommended that you arrive about blank minutes early to work every day. 2, 5, 10, right on time is best. Question 5. When you are introduced to coworkers, it is important to blank. Smile, introduce yourself professionally, maintain eye contact, or all of the above. Question 6. At work, it is important to listen carefully to directions, and if you don't understand something, blank. It is best to fake it. Wait until the end of the day to ask a question. Ask them to please explain further, or none of the above. Question 7. If you are done with an assigned task, it is wise to blank, to take a break, to ask what you can do next, to wait to be told what to do, or none of the above. Question 8. Having a positive attitude at work will relay blank. A wrong message to coworkers and the boss. A good impression to your boss and coworkers. That you want to be the boss, or all of the above. Okay. For these next few, you're going to do true or false. So true means like yes, false means no. True or false. Reading the employee handbook is not important. True or false? Yes or no? Question 10. It is best to prepare your work clothes and lunch right before you have to leave for work. True? Yes? Or false? No. To ensure you are on time on the first day, it is wise to see how long it will take you to get to work a day before. True or false? If you have a difficult time remembering things, ask if you can take notes. True or false? Question 13. You are expected to learn everything in the first few days. True or false? When leaving work, make sure to thank those that assisted you and the boss. True or false? Question 15. Pick the 5 steps and strategies that will help you be successful. So you're going to click on 5 of these boxes, okay? So which 5 are you going to pick? So these are the strategies to be successful. Complain when the job is difficult. Maintain a positive attitude. Be casual and funny. Listen and ask questions. Avoid eye contact. Be prepared and just dress correctly. Never ask questions. Smile and properly greet coworkers. Don't be punctual. Learn the rules and expectations. So, what 5 of those should you try to do to be successful? And the last one, I want you to match the word to its definition. So, employee handbook, what is that? To be respectful and polite to everyone. Excuse me. Making eye contact and occasionally nod your head at the person you're speaking to. Important information about work rules and expectations. Being on time or people you work with. Next one, coworkers. Be respectful and polite to everyone, making eye contact and occasionally nod your head at the person speaking to you. Important information about work rules and expectations, being on time, or people you work with. Punctual, what does that mean? Be respectful and polite to everyone, making eye contact and occasionally nod your head at the person speaking to you. Important information about work rules and expectations, being on time, or people you work with. Actively listen. Be respectful and polite to everyone, making eye contact and occasionally nod your head at the person speaking to you. Important information about work rules and expectations, being on time, people you work with. Professional. Being respectful and polite to everyone, making eye contact and occasionally nod your head at the person speaking to you. Important information about work rules and expectations, being on time, people you work with. And lastly, colleagues. Be respectful and polite to everyone, making eye contact and occasionally nod your head at the person speaking to you. Important information about work rules and expectations, being on time, or people you work with. When you've finished every question, make sure you submit the quiz. And then you will move on to the next page. I'll see you over there. Obviously, if you have any questions about anything regarding the quiz or need some help, or this exam, need any help, please let me know. Reach out. I'm happy to help you. We could go over it, schedule Zoom, whatever you need, just let me know. All right. Well, good luck on your quiz, your exam, your final exam, and I will see you next time around. Take care. Bye.